Hello, everyone, and thanks for being with us out here, Praful, Sajjan, Rajan. You know, when you look at the discourse that's been surrounding Indian democracy for a while, you are struck by two perhaps slightly contradictory themes that come out. One theme says that Indian democracy and Indian politics has been entirely captured by big business. That's where the money comes from. The government, the politicians, political parties, the cabinet work essentially for big corporates. That's one view. Second view, when you talk to any of the big corporates, is that actually that's exactly the opposite. It's impossible to do business in India. The politics and democracy and ministers only worry about vote bank politics. And they try and do whatever they can to make sure that industry cannot survive. Now, both can't be true, or are they both true? So why don't I start off with you, Praful? Which of those is nearer the truth?
I think, you see, all what we are seeing is making big noise in the last couple of years. Big business and politics have to coexist. It's not a question of wanting it or not wanting it. In the good old days, I mean, I'm going even to the pre-independence movement. You had Mahatma Gandhi, who used to be supported by big business, not for any gain or profit, but to see that the national or the freedom movement went ahead. So you should recall, and everybody does recall, that Gandhiji used to stay at the Bajaj ashram in Wardha, or used to stay at the Birla house in Delhi. These are all facts well known. So to say that politics and big business do not have a connection or cannot coexist would be completely unfair. The issues are more recent, I would say. But I would say post-independence, when we went into the license quota Raj, we went into issues where you could produce so much only until and unless the government gave you the permission. All those were a culmination of the issues which are now compounded today and which have, caught public attention. And I think we need to realize that if you look at the history of India, we are not a very old country. We got our independence in 47, we are in 2012, in 65 years. I think India has moved far ahead. Yes, there are issues which need to be corrected. The course correction is taking place. And therefore, even in future, business and politics will have to coexist together. Even in mature democracies like the United States or in the United Kingdom, don't you find business and who funds the elections to the US president? Ultimately, big corporations, big people with money are contributing to these causes. But the fact is, the question is of transparency, the question is of accountability, the question is how far do you go to, accommodate each other or to do things which would be construed as profit or benefit. I think these are the things which need to be addressed. And over a period of time, as more and more transparency is setting into India, I think these issues are also going to be resolved over a period of time.
Sajjan, the problem comes when there's a suspicion or there are charges that actually government is getting captured by big business. And that's when democracy starts to become kleptocracy, crony capitalism, those words come in. And it's happened in many countries around the world.
Our country is going through a big change. Now the corporations are getting bigger and bigger. 10 years ago, we couldn't think of a single industry in India which was of global scale. Today, there are in many fields we have industries, whether it is steel or petroleum or oil, where we have global scale businesses. Now, that brings in a huge issue because today the problem is that we have a lot of discretionary power in the political system. The politicians, the people who are heading the ministries, I mean, Praful is here, or even otherwise, they have a lot of discretionary power. As long as this discretionary power is going to remain with the bureaucracy, with the political system, we are going to find this huge, huge problem. For example, I need an iron ore mine. Now, if I go to a mining minister and he can sign and I get an iron ore mine which is worth billions of dollars, then, it's a big dichotomy. So this has to go. In other countries, there is a complete transparency. And everything happens through a very, very transparent system, whether it is through auction, whether it is through tender system. And then there has to be, everything can't be very transparent. Then you have to have very strong regulators, which can then control that. If these two things can be brought together in a very, very systematic way, which again, as I said, is evolutionary in nature. It will happen, but it will take its own time. And I think right now the issues which are being cropped up every day by the media or by few NGOs, I think as a sounding thing, as a whistleblower, it's a good concept which is changing, which will change hopefully our economy and our system.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.